Welcome to a pretty long video about gear, how to progress with the new gear, how to effectively progress. Yeah, there are some tips in the video shown about everything. The new currency system, crafting, modding, which will I start as, and the vendor gear, of course. I will start right away with the new loot, with the how loot and currency works as an overview. I will show you what modding will be like and how that all works. So just starting right ahead, there will be a new currency introduced with Amazon Fury, which is called Ancient Coin. Those ancient coins are only dropping in Amazon Fury 3 content, and they're only dropping at the points they don't drop like Mark of Victory, except for raids. And raids you get 10 ancient coins each, like Mark of Victory. You get those Mark of Victory still too, so it's not losing out. You get only 1 ancient coin in the duel and in the solo each. You get 3, 1 per boss in the alert, and you get 1 ancient coin each in the open world daily missions and 8 extra ancient coins in that weekly open world mission. That makes it to be able to obtain 84 ancient coins per week. So for all that information, what I just told, there will be links in the description. Check out the description. I've gathered a couple of links there that will help you to get this back on paper. I've wrote this on the forums already in all the glory detail, so you can get this just read that up if you like to just have it visually in front. And as you can see, ancient coins are not capped at 100. Their cap is actually 999. This will allow you to farm gear and see how your loot from content, your gear drops, will make a difference. And you don't have to go straight for the coins. You can just keep gathering them over and over and over and make the decision at a later point. Because in fact, if you like to gather up ancient coins for elite gear, but you can't access elite right away because, well, of course you will lack combat rating, as the entry level is 3 level higher than what we are, or 3 combat rating higher than what we are right now, which is 178 where it will be, and you won't beat easily first bosses straight away. Then you get around there and that you want to use, then you want to wait until you get your first unlocked renown part, and then you can spend the ancient coins straight for elite gear there. And yeah, you can save them up, because for a full set you need 965 ancient coins and it's kept at 999. So you can literally farm up the entire set, the entire vendor set, before actually using these ancient coins for that set, which is actually pretty cool. Okay, this is about loot currency. Remember, Mark of Victory. Mark of Victory is mostly used now for R&D stuff, for elixirs and stuff. And if you want to craft a mod, there's new mods. These are a little bit higher than the tier 8 mods, but not by much. I'm going to show you. These are called Olympian, like everything else on this. Here's, for example, a precision mod. This is how it looks like. The mods are they require an essence purifier. The essence purifier can be bought from the vendor in the Typhon's Monster Invasion Zone for 5 Mark of Victory. Here we go, Mark of Victory. Yeah, 5 Mark of Victory for 1 essence purifier. For the generator mod, for the base, yeah, there's also for the base you need 10 essence purifiers, so 50 marks for 1. But don't fear, you need to farm a while, because those monstrous essence, you only get those from salvaging Amazon Fury Part 3 gear, and you don't want to start salvaging blind. You will see at the second part for looting content what you have to do there. Focusing element dropping all over the place, these aren't a problem. Core elements, you get them easily for doing the open world stuff. Do the open world stuff. Core elements dropping there everywhere, left and right. 1 per each open world mission easily. In the duo, in the solo, you can get them from the from the non-gear dropping bosses there easily as well. Yeah, go there, do those stuff. It's easy gotten core elements. Yeah. And as I said, essence purifier from the vendor, and this is how it gets up for these mods. They are that's pretty much. These mods increase are not super crazy. For example, the restoration mod, the base mod, for example. Is it base mod? Yeah, base mod. There was 187, and the new Olympian gives you 199, so it's an increase by 12. So it's not really a major game-breaking thing. And this applies for precision and might. Might, I think, I don't know what that was, 30 increase or something. So its increase is there, but it's not super crazy. In fact, someone made the math and came up to the conclusion you should go for the generator mods first, as the equipment spread out over all 10 pieces of gear will net you around the same gain as the generator mods will do, and that's only 4 for the same stunts. So go for the gen mods first if you care about that, and then just mod your gear. Well, you're in the progress anyway. Mod your vendor gear then maybe with just 8s first, and then just replace all the time. It's no rush, and you definitely get there just in time. So this is loot, currency, and even modding in its basic explained. Yeah. And we're now jumping to the next point, which is loot and content, and after vendor gear. Drop loot in content. So basically what drops in content, just as an overview, there is you get gear drops in the solo at the end, in the duo at the end, in the alert on the second and last boss, and in the raids on each of the 3 bosses in both raids. So that makes it 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 6, 10 loot drops. 10 loot drops that are where you can earn gear. There's the outside of these. There's other bosses like the second boss on the dude is the no second and the first and the first and the solo and the first and the alert and the open world stuff. Now you wonder, what do they have? What useful stuff could they have? Well, they don't really have gear, but they have useful material that you need to craft the new Olympian mods, be it the base mods or the gear mods. So let's have a look. Yeah, so you see, like, focusing on Mensa. Let's have a look. There is those boxes that you get. In each, this here is the Adamus treasure box from the Solo, and each of those boxes contains a green, can contain a green, a blue, or a purple item, no matter the coin. You can even get now purples in a Solo. So just to be clear, you can get the new Gorgon Slayer style even in the Solo. So I'm opening this box, and then you get, this is how it works, you get like one of those pieces. I will pick the back here, which is perfect, because this let me show you something else about it. And there I go. So I actually use the weapon here quickly too. Let's pick one. It actually won't matter much, but pick the one-hander. So each of these items are unattuned now, and they're showing in the description on the bottom. You see minimum item level and maximum item level. Minimum item level means this is the item level that they attune at bare minimum. No matter your CR, no matter the gear, it will bear attune. If you get it 145, they will be. So this is the same for the blues and the purples too. And then there is the maximum item level. This is what they can attune as max. So this is basically their cap, their progression cap. Here the greens are capped at 162, the blues at 163, and now you can guess the purples is 164. The vendor gear is 165. So you have to look at what you have. as gear. Oh yeah, I have already something attuned. Actually, let me do it quick. There we go. So attunement is based, what item level you actually get out of these is based on what overall combat rating you have. It doesn't matter what your current equipped combat rating is, but what your combat rating itself is. So mine is right now 174. Now it's not so wise to attune when this goes live. You have these back, chest, legs probably 150. I have it here with 148, but you will have probably 150. Those are the four that you should focus on first because they will give you the biggest jump, and you should ignore weapon, rings, utility belt, and neck. Why is that? You will ask. Because the attunement for the piece here is based on your overall CR, which then determines the average out of every single piece that you actually hit this specific combat rating, which is at 175 right now, where most people are on live, is at, so it sees every single piece as item level 153. It doesn't see that your chest is 150 or your weapon is 156. It only sees it as an average item level spread over all over your gear, and that is for the system 153. You can do the math. Go on a combat rating calculator like DCUO block guide. I think the Odyssey one is still up to. Check it out. Type in there on the go in, type in there 175, yeah, and then you will see it spreads out for 153 all items, so to hit this specific CR. So you know this is what the system sees. If you are tuning now, let's say the weapon, and that you don't want to do for real, because remember our current weapon is 154, we are 174. It will attune not as wise as we would like to have it, because it attunes as 153, as it only attunes, green gear attunes 2 higher than the scene average. So no, 1 higher, green, sorry, actually 1 in this case. So it's really low increase on green in general already, so you want to be careful with what you actually want to do with it. So it's kind of a negative outcome here, and this will also happen if you're 175. The green weapon will attune as 154. Remember that, and your weapon is 156. You're actually losing. You're losing, so it's not worth it. You can scrap that. And blue gear would attune 1 higher. So where green gear attunes, blue gear attunes 1 higher, and the purple gear 2 higher than green. So you get somehow to know where to tune. So literally, you know now this attunes 153. That lets us know that both of these items will attune 154. Oh god, that was obviously 154. So you can check now, what do you want to do with it? Of course, my back is pretty low with 148, but my neck is actually 154. I'm not gaining anything out of it. So if I attune the neck right now, I have a 0 progression on it. 0. You actually see the new gear makes you slightly stats lose on the same item level, so there is a slight stats adjustment already happening here. So it's actually pointless to attune. That's why I'm saying, when the gear comes out and the Amazon Fury hits live, avoid attuning the 156 slots that you have right now. Keep the if you get such gear like the weapon box, even if it's purple, keep them. Don't use them right now. Wait like 2 more item levels to gain, and then you can open them, because then you get something worthwhile out of them. That's actually increase that helps you to work towards your maximum CR, what you're going for. So put on your list back, chest, legs, and waist, as this what you want to have gear first. Because you will see now, I'm still 174. I will attune now the back. It will actually boost just 1 more higher, because I have a 153 back here already, so Now I'm also 174 on my controller side. So yeah, that's pretty good. If it would have been a chest or so, I would have been now 175 because the chest would have been attuned straight for 154, which is, we're talking there about 6 item level increase. 6. This also applies to 150 gear. If you're 175 and you have 150 gear, it happens the same. You get the same scenarios out of it. So it's a huge increase, you don't want to miss out. So as said, those 4 slots have your most priority. When you have the options on the loot picker, pick those 4. Then on the list, go for the head, the shoulders, the hands, the feet and the mask. Because those are literally on your average where your overall gear is been seen. So that's perfectly. You get a normal increase in stats, but it won't be any great as the other 4. And avoid, as said, avoid the weapon, the neck, the rings, and the utility belt, and even the trinket at this point, because they won't net you any gain at this point when Amazon Fury launches and you have not gotten already gear. You will actually lose. Don't do it. Save it up. Get some others. Get the item level over the other slots first before you start using those. It's not running away, so unless you get duplicates, then you can actually start doing throwing around. But as said, you will lose here. You're not gaining anything. So set your priorities until your overall gear's been flat out, and it's more like it should be later in the game. Because right now we have this weird one monthly content problem where we have those 3 waves of different item level, and that needs to balance out first. So that's just the one time thing. As soon as that's passed, it's fine. So this is how loot and content works, and how you can focus on when Amazon Fury comes out on live, and how you can focus getting the most out of it with the loot drops that drop in content. And as I said, it's 1 in the duo and the solo each on last boss, 2 in the alert on the second and last, and 3 in each of the raids on each of the bosses there. And the chances for purple gear is in all content the same. There is no advantage, and just running the raids, you are not gaining them faster there. In fact, if you're just after gear and not marks or the new currency that's called ancient coins, then you going for the duo, which has the cheapest reset per gear piece, which is right now where is it? I wrote it down somewhere. Well, 12. But it's the same with the duo and with the solo, which are both 12 replays. The alert is at the alert gives you 2 gears and you reset it for 29, so it's 14 and a half, and the raid is even worse. So you actually want to focus on the, if you are after gear first, just a drop gear, and you don't care about the ancient coins or marks in general, then just reset the duo, because that's cheap and it's fast. If you have it down with a team, with a partner, and you have it down, then it's a story about 3, 4, well, at the beginning more like 5, 6 minutes, but it goes fast. So that's about loot and content. Next part, which is the vendor gear. Vendor gear is being located, well, if you're in a watchtower, you go to the Taiwan invasion zone. This is here. You can go there into straight to the Taiwan's monster invasion. It's a different type of zone than Gotham Under Siege, so it doesn't share the same the same zone. It's each of them is a separate zone. So we're going there, so you can't just go Gotham Under Siege from there, fly over to the Taiwan Monster Invasion Zone, because it's yeah, different. However, this is not the point of it. We are going now to show you the vendor gear and what it takes to acquire the vendor gear and else. So the item level of all of these pieces is 165. The highest possible combat rating you can acquire that way is 189. I'm right now wearing a set of it. So you can see I'm 189. So this is here the Olympian equipment supplier. It's the guy or girl, sometimes you can't be sure, who will provide you the new fallen god yeah, vendor gear. So this is right away, you can see this is a vendor gear. You see, it's not, you don't acquire it with Mark of Victory, instead with those engine coins that drop throughout the Amazon Fury 3 content. So the prices you see are, well, increased a bit. Like, we have the head 100, chest 110, weapon 120, rings 35. I'm just going further through it so you can see it. And the same goes for the support role. Here, controller in this case, because I'm light on this chart right now. And then you can see already the Fallen God style. So Fallen God style is obviously only 8 pieces per role, because it works like every other elite gear. Yeah, both roles, so this is done. And yeah, that's about the gear. Then there's something else. Well, this below here you see there's 3 of those items you can acquire. I will actually get this one and this one to show you it. And this one I will explain in a moment. There's 3. It has a different, it costs 300 for a reason. So I will use those. It costs a lot, yeah, so it's not like you just get them over the night. I will explain a bit. And they are in the collection, because this is collection you get throughout the game. So this is a collection. One of them is a collection for a ring. This is an omnipotence ring. It requires to get you 12 of those collection pieces that drop as soon as you have 8 divine favor points. I will come to that. That's same here for the neck. And by the way, that one that costs 300 is a head style. Because of a head having obviously carrying more value, it starts, it all costs a bit more there just to make up for it. So to explain the divine favor, look at below there where the cost is for this gear. It says costs 55 Anson coins and grants 1 divine favor point while worn. If you have 8 divine favor points and you wear 8, it doesn't matter if elite or normal, both of these types have divine favor points on it. It makes you then drop the omnipotence collection items. So what you actually want to do is get first the styles, and just the styles. You don't want to have the weapon, as much as it might be interesting because of the extra DPS and the stats on it. You don't want to have the weapon, you want to have the gear to actually unlock as fast as possible the way to farm, being able to get access to the omnipotence collections, because those can be sold on the broker, except for the one that you buy at the vendor, that 1 piece for each collection. So there is in this episode actually really 3 omnipotence items, respectively 1 from the ring from Olympus raid, the neck that is reflective for the God of Monsters raid, and the head is from the alert. The collection from the head, the collection pieces are dropping for the head in the alert. When you have those 8 pieces, they drop there. So as soon as you have 8 pieces, you want to definitely run every day the alert. It's actually pretty doable to get this done there. You don't have to buy any of those early anyway, because what you will be focused is completing one of those sets. And now how to get fast to 189 and how much gear you actually need for 189. In fact, you don't need the full set. You don't need everything. This is just for completion's sake. But to reach 189, which is still the most important part in this game, because stats meta is not coming out soon enough, and CR scaling is still the way to go. you wanna have to get those fallen gods style pieces. Head, shoulders, chest, legs, back, waist, feet, hands. Those 8 pieces, nothing else. Then you are only need a purple drop from the content, a purple weapon box, and the rest of it can be blue gear, and you're already hitting. So the neck and both rings and the utility belt, they only need to be blue 163, and the weapon 164 purple box, and the rest when the style, that style which said, oh, the mask also can be blue like 163, then you already be 189. So you do not have to invest all of it into this gear. So it's getting not cheap, but quite okayish. So you can achieve that in like without replays. In 2 months you should be more than fine, be settled with most of the parts. If you don't spend replays. So, but what about elite gear? Elite gear is different. For elite, you need to unlock renown. You can read here, requires copper renown with Champions of Olympus. Whenever you beat a boss in any of those 2 elite raids, you get a renown token. For the first and the second, it will be 100 renown, and for the last, if you beat the last boss, you get 200 renown. Oh, actually I was already here. And this is the renown top. You know that from the original game. Yeah, Sanders of Magic Stars, Wayne Tech. They introduced Champions of Olympus. This is a new renown. And for each of those markers, cooperative, friendly, favorable, and trusted, for each of them you unlock, you get access to each of them 2 pieces that you can buy off the vendor. So, for example, for cooperative, you get access to hat, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think hands. We're going to check it quickly. So hat, cooperative, and hands. Ha! Okay. And then the next step is the shoulders, where you get friendly status and combined with the waist. And the third one is favorable. There's the legs with the feet. And the last one, when you reach 6500 renown, is the chest and the back. So this is a style you have to, when you can only acquire over the time by keep playing elite raid. The style does not drop in the raid itself. So you have to play the raid to actually be able to buy it over the time from the vendor. To acquire a style, you won't be able to acquire the style right now by just doing it without replays. If you want to get the style being done by the time replays, by the time the next episode comes out, whenever that will be, I can tell you, you will need replays right now because it takes way too long to achieve it. As said, you get only 800 renown out of every second week, and it will literally take you a good chunk of 16, well, more like 18 weeks if you beat every single time both elite raids, which you won't at the start because raids start late. At 178 entry, the raids are not easy at the entry CR at all. The first 2 bosses, yeah, cool, fine on Olympus. The first in God of Monsters. The second is completely out of question right now. We don't know how it will look like after it changes. Remember, this is recorded being on test, so changes may happen. And the last bosses are obviously not like you can just straight farm them. So expect this to take it like 18-20 weeks. 18 to 20 weeks. And this is like really long time. Okay, I hope they make adjustment to that part. That's my opinion for that part. Yeah, and that's this one. And have you ever acquired the both styles? Yeah. You already spent a good chunk of 4 months there without replays. And then you have still the omnipotence gear to chase after. As said, 300 marks just for the head is a long run. That's 30 raid resets. 30. So do the math on your own. That's it literally about the vendor gear. Stats are here, I'm modded, but I like the stats in general. You should be able to hit 6700, 6800 precision without any buffs on life with that gear. I'm right now 8 modded. Remember, Olympian mods are in this game, so the stats will be slightly higher, not by much, but there will be. So yeah, that is already the vendor gear shown, and if you want to know how it looks like, well, check out Torikumu's videos, because I now founders I'm not wearing that style. Check out the description. In the description, remember, in the description is everything what I'm telling you. In the description you will find the link to how many ancient coins you can acquire right now per week, how long it will take you to acquire vendor gear, how long it will, you can do the math for your own, you can do it everything. I've listed there everything. I've also listed the video from Torikumu where you can watch the Godfall style in all its glory, both versions, the normal one and the elite one. So this is vendor gear explained, loot and content explained, and the whole loot currency system. Thanks for watching, and see you around. Bye bye.